Hi there! A few days ago I was laying in bed and I kind of had this sound design idea I wanted to try out, and I went to my computer, I did some experimenting, and instead of 5 minutes I ended up spending like many hours on this thing, and it turned into a full track. I shared it around a bit on Discord and the response was kind of clear. Tutorial please. Okay, I started off this project by taking a piano, which sounds like this. I cranked up the volume all the way and I'm using very low velocity notes in here. And process that sounds like very quiet, very soft. It's like barely even audible. This is also already the first sound design technique / tip I want to talk about. Instead of cranking up the velocity all the way, I like to bring it all the way down here, so the actual like melodic content of the recorded instrument that I'm using, that's gonna be very quiet. I like to do this because it brings out all the background noises and the like shufflies and shwoopsies that the audio engineers didn't manage to fully remove from the samples. Whether it sounds just good or extremely awesome depends on the instrument itself. Every instrument was recorded differently, of course, and some of them have cleaner samples, some of them have less clean samples. And with this piano, if I do this, again, here's my OTT settings for both of them. It's like lots of compression, lots of volume go up, loud makey. Sounds like this. You can hear all this hissing in the high end and occasionally also key shuffling noises. Like, I remember on some instrument I kept hearing like some audio engineer having like keys in their pocket, and that made like very quiet noises in the background that you can just bring out with this technique. Low velocity notes and tons of OTT, and then you have pretty noises like these ones. And then I just turned these pretty notes into lots of chaos by using the echo delay MIDI arpeggiator, which turns all the beautiful noises into this. Nice. If you listen closely, you could hear that the speed of this changed throughout the pattern, and that's because I automated this time knob and also some other knobs throughout the track. Something else that I did a lot in this track is just automating all kinds of knobs, just having them move a lot throughout the track, and that adds a lot of dynamicism and like movement, which I love. And I've been doing this a lot lately. In FL Studio, it's like super easy to do. You just click this recording button, make sure that automation is selected here, and then you just you just move some knobs and then it's gonna be played back exactly how you move the knobs. After that, I'm using some fruity balance, which is in this case just a volume knob. I'm automating it like this. And this is also the sound design technique that I had in my head when I was laying in bed, basically just turning a big sustained mess of piano notes into like short stabs and swoopsies, and then messing with that a bunch. And then a fruity delay 3, which I'm using like a granular delay, and I explained how this works in an older video of mine where I turn like basic noises into really cool percussion loops. It's one of my favorite videos actually, like I'm very proud of that one. And it just does this to the signal. This also works by automating the level knob, the time knob, just like however I felt at the moment. It looks a bit chaotic, but the sound is cool. After that, just some ROM, which is a nice reverb I like, and some wider, which is a free stereo with the plugin thingy poop. And that's all basically for this sound. Then I just consolidated that, and that's this. There's also some more OTT on this, like at the end, to just sausagify the noise. Over here, a slowed down recording of like a reverb tail of this noise. That's a little riser. These drums are also pretty simple, but I'm gonna show you how I made them. I took this drum break, which sounds like this. and I wanted to add some dynamicism again. I love the word dynamicism. Basically having some areas be less intense, some areas be more intense, and changing like the length of each hit. It's very easy to do. You just go in here, get an automation clip for the entire sound. Just copy this over and over again. I'm using Control B to do that. I've got an instance of Edison here, and I just record all the outcoming audio. And while this plays, I'm gonna change the curve of this automation clip to basically adjust the intensity of the sample at that point. There we go. And that's how you can add another layer of motion onto your drums. And that's basically everything that's happening here in the intro. I did some micro edits over here just to like adjust the sounds very, very slightly to my liking. Like this little bit over here is just like a short sound from the strum loop pitched up by an octave. Sounds nice, I think. And of course some stutter over here because I just love that. This is another break that's just being high pass and then like with a swoopsing swoopser going down. Another drum break just to add more chaos to all of this. And now onto the juicy stuff, which is obviously this lovely bass. It's got some layers, it's got some cool sound design stuff going on. Completely unprocessed. This sounds like that. It's just like some random wavetable I like the sound of. Some comb filtering, which just filters it in a funny way. Some distortion, that's all basically. Oh, and here's some noise, of course. Because I love the noisy bass. That goes through an OTT again to make it loud and chunky. And then I cut out some frequencies and boost some others. Just to make it sound nice to me, personally. Then this goes into two other channels, which split the signal into low end, like this, and high end, like this. Then I just make this really, really wide with the free plugin wider once again. This is just the high end and with the low end together. Lovely. The Structure is just a distortion plugin that I'm pretty sure comes with FL Studio. I like the Portals preset and I just adjusted some knobs. And that's most of it. These silly high melodies are just the exact same bass but pitched up by a few octaves, just like with super short notes. Sometimes doing like more wonky things. Over here, this. I think it's just some nice details I like. If you're familiar with FL Studio, you can tell that these funny purple lines are also automation clips. That data gets stored in patterns and you can also adjust them after the fact, like this. And every single purple line in here is just a knob I've been turning while the bass played, which in the end gives us, once again, lots of motion, lots of dynamicism. And I've been just turning a bunch of knobs like the comb filter feedback, the comb filter pitch, the wavetable position, the distortion drive, also some other things I'm pretty sure. And the more knobs you automate, the more organic it sounds, basically. The low and high end of the bass then gets combined in this channel with some more OTT to like glue it together nicely, and then just the boost in the low end because I felt like it needed that. Okay. And then we've got these bass delay grains on top of this, which sound like this. I made this with the exact same technique that I used to make the piano grains, and also it's the same technique from my funny percussion delay grain instrument noise poop sound design video. It's just putting a delay plugin on the high end channel of the bass and just automating the time and level knobs over the course of the track. Another thing I forgot to mention, when we process those piano grains, it's important that you keep the keep pitch button activated, otherwise it'll just sound very like bad. For me, it was very important that this main melodic bit didn't like drift off key and make it sound dissonant and blah. But for the bass over here, we can just do that. We can just go ham. That's how I made those noises. And the rest is just some other funny noises I designed, got from like my folders and collections and archives of sounds. This sound over here is just me chanting piss over and over just for fun. Thought it'd be fun to like record that and see if I can process that into like a nice sounding thing. Without processing, it sounds like this.
Piss, 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 piss.
With processing this. It's less silly because it's like kind of well hidden in the track. If I hadn't told you I'm using urine words in here, you wouldn't notice if you listen to the track. And now into the last set of sounds I designed, which is this pink melody over here. A little mixing issue that I noticed while making this was that these high notes over here come through in the mix very, very well, but when it swoops us down to like a B2, it gets really drowned out by all the basses down here in those frequencies, which is why I automated the width of this sound. By default, it sounds like this, like 16%, and if it goes down, I automate this to like, I don't know, 100. It's like much, much wider. I don't like the wide sound on the high notes, but it's very important to have it on the low notes, otherwise they like don't come through in the mix. And that's just this automation here. Yeah, 140%. Another nice thing about this stereo width automation is that you get another layer of motion on top of all of this, and like, that's awesome. I just really love it when my music feels alive and like moving and just, it's nice, it's nice. Oh, there's one more thing I forgot to talk about. It's these little stabby, chippy bits. And they're also pretty simple. I just opened up Serum and cranked up the voice count on both of these default saw waves with like around 2 seconds of release time. It sounds like this. It's like a very simple sound. There's like no processing in Serum other than just like having lots of voices. And then after that, I'm using some Crush, which is a free plugin that does bit crushing, downsampling, and also some distortion. That's what makes it sound so chiptune and like old and destroyed. After that, I've just got some OTT once again to make things loud. Then just some equalizer to remove all of the low end and tame the high end a tiny bit. And some wider once again to make it just a bit wider. Hell yeah. After that, I just plugged this in my long reverb bus. The riser blobs are from the Patreon sample pack. This is from some other sample pack. This is from the Patreon sample pack. This is just some flanged noise. Very simple. That should be everything. If you want me to break down some other tracks I've made in the past, or just want me to talk about some sound design techniques in more detail, just let me know and I'll make some more of these. Have a nice day, night, evening, morning, noon, afternoon. Thank you so much for supporting me again, and thank you, and bye.